All right, bang. Today's Tuesday. It's May 13th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports Snake Draft Tuesday. We are joined in studio by Ben Mintz. We are joined on Zoom by Frank the Tank. Frank, how are we doing over there? I like that you made the gambling cave your office.
Yep, I'm doing well. Yeah, I figure if I have a whole bunch of people in here, I can meet in here. There's games on in here, and this is where people are supposed to get loud.
It's perfect. Yeah, you're right.
Good spot for you.
Good spot for hollering. Mintzy, what's up?
Doing good. Glad to be here. This should be fun. I like the draft topic today.
Yeah, it should be good. It is Meltdowns, as you see by the title. And I texted everyone this, so I hope everyone's on the same page. Meltdowns could be many things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It could be many things.
I was hoping you didn't text that.
Because you were going to try to go a different route than other people?
Definitely. But I figured we all kind of had that in our brain.
Yeah. Frank, what do you know about a meltdown?
He's calm and
Sometimes
cool.
you need them.
Sometimes you need
They are necessary here and there. Obviously you're famous for your meltdown, Frank. How good did that feel to just let it all out in that moment, like afterwards? Obviously, did you actually make your game that day? I forget.
I missed the first inning.
Okay,
on
so
opening day.
you don't. Yeah, you want to be there. You want to be there well before the game starts. So I feel you, Frank.
Best thing that ever happened to you, though, Frank.
It kind
Probably.
of is.
Yeah.
Probably. All right, then. Let's get into this whole shebang. Frank, our producer Lance is number 1 through 5 behind his back. What number is it?
I like that word, Ed. Shebang. That's a good word.
5.
No.
Mintz.
2.
No.
Chief.
4.
No.
Dave.
1.
No.
3.
Yes.
God damn it.
I'll go right in the middle. Eddie.
That's, I think, the
3.
good spot.
1 through 4, Frank.
2.
Yep.
I'll go 2.
Okay. 1 through 3, Mintz.
1.
Yep.
1, 4, or 5.
I'll go 1.
All right, Mintzy. He's got a big timer for number 1 overall. 1 or 2, Chief.
2.
No.
Dave.
1. I'll go 4.
All right, so the order is Mintzy, Tank, Eddie, White Sox, Dave, Chief. Before we get into today's draft, I want to talk about my friends at Game Time. The NHL playoffs are here, and the only place to buy hard-to-get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and then their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets the puck drop. You can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. I was looking at tickets for the Oilers at Golden Knights in Vegas. That's tomorrow night. As low as $149,
That's
Chief.
a good get-in price for a big playoff series.
It is.
That's actually a very good price.
I've been there too to T-Mobile for a Knights game. It's a great
still
atmosphere.
haven't been.
It's nice. You
Yeah.
should definitely go. So I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're a fan, you're in Vegas, definitely grab those tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DOGWALK for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
Game time.
All right, Mintzy, you are on the clock. Lead us off.
All right, I'm going with a very obvious sports meltdown pick, but there was just so many historical ramifications for it that I just think it has to be taken, and that's the Yankees blowing the 3-0 ALCS lead in 2004 to their arch rival, the Red Sox, who hadn't won a World Series since the curse of the Bambino before that. And they came back, won all 4 games. You had the Kurt Schilling bloody sock. You had the Dave Roberts steal in Game 4. And then the Red Sox win their first World Series in almost 100 – it was almost 100 years. And since then, they've won 3 more in 07, 13, and 18. So just that comeback against their rivals changed the spectrum of sports history forever. And so I think that's why it's
One of those where were you moments.
I believe this was the number 1 overall pick and the biggest biggest baseball moments in the last 25 years.
I think somebody took that, yeah.
I think it was.
It
No, it was
had-
definitely a first rounder.
Yeah.
And also, it was nobody had ever come back from 3-0 in an MLB playoff series
Yeah.
before, ever in history before it.
That's
So-
true. That's true.
And so I just think that the historical ramifications of it were just so big.
Now, when it comes to the sports ones, I think we're going to dissect a little bit about meltdown versus just, hey, the other team was just better. Like, did the Yankees melt down is what I want to ask.
They kind of blew that Game 4.
I mean, when you have the greatest closer in history and he has he has at least one blown save. I think 2 in the series. I think you can consider that a meltdown.
That's
you're up 3-0.
That's a meltdown. It's
Well, and to your arch rival and to them.
they hadn't won it. I
Yeah.
think it was 86 years. I want to say.
It
Well, you know what it was?
It was 19.
And he got kind of lucky.
Yeah,
The Red Sox got kind of lucky in that game because they had the Dave Roberts had the steal, and it was a close play, and that was like the game changer.
Yeah. And Millar got
And
the walk.
the first 2 games they lost in Fenway were in extra innings, and what it did was it helped the Red Sox reset their rotation. So when they got back to Yankee Stadium, they actually had the pitching advantage, even with Kurt Schilling in his bloody sock, where I still can't understand how the Yankees didn't try to put down a few bunts.
Right, make a move. Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Mariano Rivera did blow 2 saves that ALCS, and he blew 3 of 5 save opportunities in 2 series that year. 100% on the Hall of Fame vote. My nutsack, Frank the Tank.
Only one to ever do it.
Fucking bullshit.
Don't you kind of need that like 8-1 like blow though? Like and like honestly, I just said that just to create fodder. But the more I think about it,
I think the 3-0 versus.
It never
and you
been
could-
done.
And
I get that.
I would
And
say
you're the evil empire, the New York Yankees.
I get it, but you're not.
The way that Game 7 went, where it was a fucking blowout because they had just like they were cooked before Game 7 even started.
It was the epitome of a sports meltdown. Probably.
I think gun to my head though, I still say like just the Red Sox got it done versus a meltdown.
Oh, that obviously plays
Gun to
into
my head.
it, and it's an unbelievably.
Not saying
good
it's
comeback.
a bad pick, but I think that's what I think.
And then remember, like, but I'm thinking like the mental aspect of it too. Remember, like A-Rod slapping the glove.
Yep.
Like that's like a bonehead play.
Like if it was 3-0, like just for instance, the Celtics Knicks series right now. If it was 3-0 and they lost back-to-back 20-point games like they did the last 2 nights, like that's a true meltdown. To blow leads in those games.
They had leads in those games. Rivera blew.
Yeah, I know.
saves.
I know the game in Game 4 that had the lead. Obviously, it's a Dave Roberts game. But regardless, I'm nitpicking here.
No. I mean, I think it's like kind of an obvious pick, but it's just such a classical sports fork in the road that I thought it was obvious first pick.
Tank, you're up.
All right, I'm going to stay in Boston, and I'm going to only use 2 numbers, 28
Yep.
to 3.
Yep.
You're up 28 to 3 in the Super Bowl. Now, I know Tom Brady, everyone says, oh, Tom Brady's the greatest, Tom Brady's this, Tom Brady's that. That's fine. He did it. But he could not have done it without the Atlanta Falcons absolutely shitting the bed.
Yes, totally agree.
I mean, the play calling. What also gets me is when you're up 28 to 3 and you're trying to run down the clock. Why aren't they using up all the play clock? Like snapping it at 1 second on the play clock every drive. Then they got that first down, which would have put them in field goal range and put them up 11. And the next 2 plays, holding, sack, out of field goal range.
Yeah.
Patriots drive down the field, tie it. And you not only had to, the Patriots not only had to score those points, they had to get 2-point conversions to get back in the game. They were down 2 2-point conversions in the fourth quarter. You had to really, really, really blow it. I don't care how great Brady is. The Falcons choking that Super Bowl away. The franchise that probably they've not won the Super Bowl, never won the Super Bowl, and may never win the Super Bowl, and that will hang over Atlanta forever.
Mm-hmm.
Great pick.
Yeah.
Well said. And F the Falcons. We'll hate them forever.
I think that I don't know, the 3-0 and you have to win 4 games in a row might put it over the top for me, but obviously it's one of the two for sports between these two. This game Atlanta, like Frank said, props to Brady in New England. Atlanta shit the bed horrifically bad.
I'm having like I don't know if I'm remembering this exactly right, but I feel like it was 21-3 at half, and the Patriots got the ball and Brady threw a pick six. Do I have the order of that correct?
Like right off the rip?
Like in the third quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It all happens.
I know
it happened so fast.
No,
I don't really remember.
It was 28-3, very late third.
Right.
And then I think New England scored to make it 28-10, and then they got that safety off the Hightower play. I think.
Safety?
It was a safety because I thought it was 28-12, and then they got two
thought they
touchdowns
got-
and two-point conversions to get the 28.
I don't remember a safety.
I don't remember.
No,
safety.
okay, well, Hightower got a sack fumble. I remember Dante Hightower made a huge play. I thought it was a safety, but it was a huge sack fumble then maybe on Matt Ryan. I thought it was a safety. My bad.
Yeah, this was a fucking meltdown.
No, there's a strong argument that could be the one pick.
Yeah.
Especially with like what Tank said, the fact that Atlanta has also never won a Super Bowl, and that's their one chance, and they blew it. Because like the pick I made, the Yankees have obviously won 16 titles or whatever, 26.
Yeah. The pick six made it 21-0. So I did have that wrong, but yeah, crazy.
Was there a safety? Was I wrong? Because I know it was 28-12 at one point, so I thought there.
Hightower made the sack
Okay,
that pushed him out of field goal range.
okay, that's what it was.
I think it was 28-12 where he had a failed 2-point.
Yeah, you're right. It was 28-9, then they got it. Yeah, got it.
Good pick, Tank.
Good pick.
I'm going to go outside.
There was a safety.
There was.
Yeah. The
Mintzy.
key play in the game was a safety
remember
scored by the
shit.
Patriots in the fourth quarter, which helped them cut the Falcons' lead.
Don't doubt that.
There you go.
Yeah,
I feel vindication because I was going to look like an idiot.
No, you
Don't
weren't.
doubt that.
It happened so fast. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. But yeah, awesome pick. Could have gone 1-1. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Tank, good pick. I'm gonna go outside of sports for this one, and it's recent, but I think it'll stand the test of time. It's Will Smith at the Oscars. I mean, that was a fucking meltdown, dude. You rush the stage and you smack someone in the face.
And the biggest spectacle in your industries.
It was so crazy that I thought it was.
I thought it was staged. Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole world thought it was staged for a minute, and then it was obvious that it wasn't. But yeah,
And it was basically over nothing, a joke. Like a pretty tame joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I mean, he won Best Actor that night,
Yeah.
and nobody
didn't
realized that.
Just give it to him.
Just give it to him, get him out of here. He got banned from the Oscars for that, right?
I don't know.
Or not invited the next year, was it? Or
Has he had a big movie
I think he's
since?
got a 10-year suspension.
or something?
Wow,
like that.
10 years?
He got. I want to say I heard he got banned from it, but yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah.
It was nuts.
I don't necessarily think.
And you
it's,
know this. He hasn't been
5
cast
pick,
in that many big movies lately.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah, I feel like he hasn't had like one of those blockbuster holy shit movies in a while.
You don't think that's a top pick? You said.
I do not think that was a top 5 pick. No.
All right. I think it was pretty.
It was iconic.
Yeah, it was
very.
pretty-
I mean, yeah.
pretty big because you also.
All right, Dave, well, give us a top 5 pick.
You also, well, I'm still talking, but I think you also didn't realize if it was real or fake, which like added into everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like that was pretty crazy. Dave, you're up.
I'm gonna go with an actual meltdown. I'm gonna go with the Chernobyl disaster.
Okay.
It was responsible for up to 60,000 cancer deaths over the years following the actual meltdown. And obviously the TV show, we've all watched it, I'm assuming.
Great miniseries.
Great miniseries. The only thing I hated about it is what?
Everyone was having a British accent.
They had British accents and they're in Eastern Europe. I don't like that, Frank, but it was excellent nevertheless.
Frank just
but
shakes his head at you.
It's like three X-rays.
It's
Tough enough.
it's the event that more or less spurred the term meltdown. We use the term nuclear meltdown. It's in reference to Chernobyl. I think it's probably it could have gone 1-1 actually. In terms,
You know
of
what my
meltdowns.
favorite stat about the Chernobyl meltdown is? It occurred at 1:23 and 45 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
That's scary, Frank.
Okay.
It's a great show.
That's a good fact. I didn't know that fact.
But I
Didn't know
agree.
that fact.
Obviously, the British accents were I don't know how that gets cleared. And that guy's good. That guy does The Last of Us too. Craig Mazin. You know who that is?
The director?
Yeah, he.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He might have written that too, but like he's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote it and he created it, so I guess he
Okay.
wasn't technically the director, but yeah,
Credit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember this, Frank? You may have been the only one old enough, or
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What was it? What was the? I mean, you were obviously a young kid, I'm assuming, but what was the vibe like when it was all going down?
That the Russians are a bunch of liars, that they almost killed the entire people trying to cover it up. It wasn't until like
Well, there was massive cover-ups for sure.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
well
They
it
didn't try
happened
to.
on
They
like
did.
a Saturday morning, and the government didn't tell anybody. They didn't say anything, and all of a sudden, like on Monday, Monday morning, it was like Norway said, "Is there something wrong, Russia? We're getting a whole lot of radiation spilling out from you. What's going on over here?" And they eventually had to admit that they had a accident at a nuclear power plant, and like thousands of people were already like getting sick by then.
Yeah. I looked up the numbers this morning. I got them somewhere, but I mean, everybody watch a TV show to get the layman's terms. I'm sure there was a lot of fiction in it because it was, Hollywoodified and all that. But credit to those people for going in there and they're like, yeah, this is probably the last thing I'm going to do for my life.
Suicide mission.
It's a legit suicide mission.
Yeah.
And so you got to give those guys their
Heroes.
Yeah, they're legit heroes for what they did. They saved maybe millions of lives. Legit, maybe millions. But
Would you guys want to go?
it's kind of a well,
If you have
right
the
now you
opportunity.
can't, but once this war settles itself,
This
it
is
has.
like, now that I think of it, this is probably your number one.
It's got to be close.
try to-
It's a really well thought. It's a really well thought out
It
pick.
is people think of it as Russia.
It's Ukraine.
It's
right?
Ukraine.
Yeah, it's in Ukraine. It's not in the occupied territory right now, and it was prior to the invasion. It was becoming a slight tourist attraction. Like there are parts where you can go.
You just
There's
gotta put on a
wildlife
suit
there.
and
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, this is like, you guys don't know Eddie as well as Dave and I do. Eddie loves
Weird.
weird stuff, abandoned Six Flags, abandoned malls. Like this is probably like your holy grail.
Yeah, except it's very scary that you're gonna suffer some type of after effects.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? But
And
like,
it's a fucking war zone.
yeah, they say, yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
That part's
too.
not.
Yeah, you put in like a bubble, and I've seen like videos of people going, and what you have to
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
which is
Did
kind
they
of
do that?
interesting.
Did they,
Wait, what do they do? So what do you have to? You have to put on like a bubble suit.
Yeah,
Did
Like
they,
radiation.
did they do an episode there for that Dark Tour?
they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. That's
Okay.
how I saw,
Yeah.
and it was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wildlife factor would be very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
those
think that
fucking they killed all those dogs in the show. Those
That
dogs
was
probably
tough.
have like 8 legs now.
Like Blinky the fish from
Yeah,
Simpsons.
yeah. The 3-eyed.
Yeah.
Chief, you're up.
I'll take the 03 Cubs. The whole Bartman thing, the errors by Gonzalez, the
3-1 series lead.
3-1 series lead. Was it 3-1 or 3-2?
3-1, right?
3-2.
Yeah, it's 3-2.
Game 6, they're up 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah, because they lost 2 and then won 3, and then the Game 7 was like,
It was
Yeah.
over when it started.
Yeah.
yeah. So, but that is like the crowd melted down, the team Alou melted down.
Andy Bartman had to leave town,
Everybody
didn't he?
Yeah, he
with
never-
just a tangential relationship to the Cubs melted down.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The entire fan base tried to kill a guy.
I think this could have gone 1-1.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's. I mean, the guy had to disappear.
That- it
I mean, he
was-
basically had to disappear.
Yes,
Dylan witness
he's in
protection.
Witsag, yeah. But it's like one of those things where it's like that was also like pre-social media.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh man, if there was social media.
Social media would have been, the memes would have been unbelievable. They're still unbelievable. Bartman is still kind of a meme.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that
Sorry.
that was an all-time meltdown by a franchise historically, which had done nothing but meltdown. So happy to get that 5th overall.
It was bad. It was bad. It just seemed like it was never ending.
It's too bad he didn't do a video and they won it in 16.
He got a World Series ring.
Did he really?
Yeah, I sent up one.
Yeah, that'll fix it. Ruin the guy's life.
That'll fix
I'm sure all the people in the 03 team really felt better about him getting a ring.
Tank, you like
And them
this
not
pick?
getting, and them never getting one.
But
Yeah, I do,
I
I
still
do.
put more of the blame on the team.
Dude, Gonzalez made the
foul
2
ball.
errors.
Yeah.
You do like a Tank?
Yeah, I do like that pick. What I remember is Bernie Mac should have got some heat because during the 7th-inning stretch, he already declared them the champs.
Yep. Root for the champs. For the champs. Shut the fuck up, Bernie. Rest in peace,
Hey.
though.
R.I.P.
That's Bernie
R.I.P.
Mac.
Well, he shouldn't have said the champs.
He's the store dick.
Root for the Cubbies, not the champs. Still had 2.5 innings to go.
Can't wait to see where this draft goes. This is a great topic.
Yeah.
I got a
like-
wild one coming up.
Like, it's a good pick, but like I'm not trying to be too contrarian, but like we've dissected the 04 Red
Yeah.
Sox so much, so that's why I went where I went.
Yeah.
But you're up again.
I'm going to go Britney Spears shaving her head.
That's what my next pick
So-
would be.
The queen of pop at the time. I remember hearing something years after the fact that she was for the movie The Notebook. It was for the main character. It was down to Britney Spears and Rachel McAdams to be casted in that movie, and Rachel McAdams gets a movie. She becomes a superstar. Britney Spears doesn't get it, and her meltdown. What year is that? Like 07?
Crossroads? You said, or sorry.
I was gonna say like 05.
The Notebook was like 04, 05. But her shaving head happened.
Oh,
in
a little
07.
later. Yeah. Right around then, probably.
Yeah. So she like just completely lost
And
her
it
mind.
wasn't even that long after she was on top of the world,
Correct.
which was 98, 99.
So that was February 07 where she shaved her head. And she went from like, so Spider asked me out in the morning, like, who was my first like celebrity crush?
Britney Spears,
She was
yeah.
probably it.
She was for me, for sure.
So that was like an all-time meltdown whose career, I mean, she made money. She had like the Vegas thing, but her career never really recovered. And
She
obviously
had the whole thing with her and her dad that was
the whole thing with the
conservative-
conservatorship. So
This is so good.
She's
where
still melting down like daily on Instagram.
It's just so good where I don't know if there was there video of that. There was a video of it, right? There's
Yeah.
just pictures of her.
there's definitely a still of like her in
Yeah.
the process. I'm looking at it right
But that's
now.
what I'm saying. Like, there's just a picture, and it's still like you know what happened, so it's still like a good meltdown, even though you didn't get the full
Yeah,
like video scope of what it went.
right.
What's your pop culture knowledge, Frank? Are you pretty good at that or no?
Yeah, I'm not as great at pop culture, but I know a little bit here and there.
This crossed your desk, I assume.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Not good, Frank.
But I know if I would I don't know if I would put this on my list here of big meltdowns.
All right.
Okay.
White Sox Dave.
Oh, he got two. I thought he had one more. I'm gonna go. I was gonna go with Britney Spears. I'm gonna go with the next best one over the last like 25-ish years. I would say I'm gonna go with Charlie Sheen's meltdown. The whole winning rant was just like you're watching this guy literally melt down, and social media was still. It was a little younger, but it was around for this.
I mean, I remember Barstool made winning
Right,
shirts.
right. That's right. We did.
So, and I don't know if Barstool Chicago was even a thing then.
Yeah,
What year was-
2012. Hold on.
Vaguely, yeah. Neil was probably running the show.
It was probably right around then, right?
It was 2011, so yeah, it was before Barstool
Yeah.
Chicago.
So obviously Twitter and everything's still becoming what it is today at that time, but man, what a fucking meltdown. And that's, I mean, I'm not a 2.5 Man guy per se. I don't really like sitcoms anymore. There's a handful. I know 2.5 Men was wildly popular because of Charlie Sheen and his kid and everything, but he was a superstar for decades before that, going back into the 80s with Platoon and Major League, or was it Platoon? What?
Yeah,
Platoon.
Platoon.
Yeah, Platoon and Major League. All through the 90s, I don't know if you guys have seen Hot Shots, but it's one of the all-time great spoof movies. It's absolutely piss pants funny. Have you seen Hot Shots, Frank?
Yes.
Great fucking movie. Eddie, you have to watch it if you haven't seen it.
Someone drafted it at some point.
I think I did probably. Yeah.
I know. I got to get to it.
It's a Eddie movie for sure, but just like on top of the world, and man, fucking cocaine's a hell of a drug. Allegedly. Probably.
Mints, is it a hell of a drug?
It's overrated.
Let's go, man.
I wouldn't know anything about it, of course, but I'll say the ratio of how expensive it is to allegedly how fun it is. It's not. It's just not a rabbit hole that's worth.
In a hypothetical world, is there a great bang for buck hard drug out there?
I mean, I would say eat mushrooms or do stuff like that over
Hypothetically.
hypothetically. of course.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, but you spend like $5 or $10.
What about like whippets or anything? Are they cool?
Man, I'm not into all that frying my
Okay.
mind stuff.
Well,
but
no.
I would say that's a no.
You're a jam band guy.
I am a jam band guy, but I would say the psychedelics are a little more
Okay.
or a little more valuable. The speeds, the blow is just there's no positive. I mean, it literally just takes all your money and rots your values, and it's not even fun.
All right.
Okay. Well, what about the Charlie Sheen meltdown? Was that a good pick?
That was a good pick, and I was a 2.5 Men fan for a while. Actually,
It was
always
good.
cracked me.
I mean, the kid was making like $1 million a pop per episode or some shit.
damn.
Dude,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen was like a big memorabilia collector. Like he had like Lou Gehrig bats and shit.
Really?
He in Major League was actually throwing upper 80s.
I remember hearing
Really?
that
He was
too, yeah.
legitimately throwing. They clocked him at 88 miles an hour, which is fucking humming for
Dude,
literally
an
anybody.
actor?
I feel like
Yeah, for
Kevin
an act-
Costner was known
He
to be able
he can actually
be
throw.
an
You can
athlete.
tell when people are actually throwing in
Yeah.
in movies. Kevin Costner can actually throw and play baseball. But Charlie Sheen was actually pumping upper 80s. I want to say 88 was the number he hit on the gun,
That's
for the
incredible.
movie,
pretty good.
which is fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he sold his baseball memorabilia for $4.4 million at auction. He had a
That's
1927 World Series ring.
incredible.
I think he had the Bill Buckner ball.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's history right there.
he had something from Babe Ruth. He like had a lot of shit, but then obviously once
You have to sell it because you melted
You know what's
down.
funny is? The Bill Buckner ball was brought by a private, at the time they said a private seller. A private buyer purchased the Bill Buckner ball.
It's funny this comes up because
The-
it's a very
And
obvious
you know
draft pick.
you know who that private buyer who ended up getting the Bill Buckner ball was?
who?
Steve Cohen.
Oh wow!
What do you pay for it?
I think it might have been at least 6 figures. And this is like
It's gotta
2011.
be. It's gotta be. What it was?
You're right, Frank. Charlie Sheen did have it.
Didn't the Cubby Bear buy the Bartman ball?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
blew it up.
They
They blew
I
it
knew
up.
they. I
They,
wasn't
like,
sure who it was.
electrocuted it, yeah.
and they blew it up.
Yeah. Now, like we've talked about memorabilia. You don't like it.
I'm not a big fan now.
The Buckner ball is pretty cool.
Oh, that's history. That's beyond memorabilia.
Yes.
to me.
No, it totally. But
That's
that's one of those things where it's like I don't get the appeal really. Like it's going to sit in your basement in a case and people come over and you're like, "Look at my Bill Buckner ball." And
I'll be like Indiana Jones going up to that one. That should be in a museum.
fine, put it in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't know. It would
kinda cool.
Been on
though.
display at City Field.
I
It's been on
had-
display at City Field in recent years.
I coached a kid in high school. He was in high school, and I went to his grad party out in Wayne, and he lived in. This is very regional, but he lived in the biggest house I've ever been in, and he had a memorabilia room. His dad did, and he had a 1980 hockey stick signed by everybody. Ruzioni, the coach, everybody. I'm like, that thing is worth more than my entire life. Literally.
Ruzioni had this. I don't know if he had to, but he did. He sold everything that he had related to that 1980.
Yeah.
His jersey, his gold medal, like literally everything.
I'd go to fucking death with that. I'm like, bury me with that shit.
I think he sold it so he can have money for his, to give to his kids, like some sort of estate. But whatever.
Okay, I'm back up. Michael Richards at Laugh Factory.
That was an all-time good meltdown. Not good, but like
Bad.
famous
But,
meltdown.
yes.
And that's what I meant by
Like there's flying off the handle, and then there's
And
flying off the handle and like throwing it in the Atlantic Ocean.
yeah,
this.
That's what that was.
Absolutely gutted his career, and for probably very good reason.
yeah. Anybody here a Curb fan?
Yeah,
Have you seen that season where they do the Seinfeld reunion show with him?
I didn't. I don't think so.
So they did they had a scene which was like a hat tip to that interaction where he's like, I want to say something that gets you as mad as I am right now. And he's like, if there was only a word I could say to get you to be as mad as I am right now. So that was like his explanation. Bad explanation. But I think that's the only thing he's been in Since then, yeah. Like I can't imagine. Does he still tour and do comedy?
I would
How old is he now? He's got to be 70s, right?
I would guess mid 60s.
No, he's probably a little. I think
He's 75.
Except, yeah, it's I would have guessed.
Michael Richards is 70 fucking.
Yeah.
Think of how long ago that show started, and he wasn't like young.
I know, almost 4. Yeah,
He was the oldest
God.
of the four.
Yeah,
by
he
far.
was born in 1949.
That's fucking wild to me.
He was a problem child. The bow tie.
You like that movie, Ed?
Oh yeah, the bow tie killer. It's great.
6'3".
Do you remember when this happened, Frank?
Yeah.
Did it make you upset?
It really, to me, it was Michael Richards trying to. He had a failed sitcom. I guess his movie career didn't do anything, and he was trying something new, and it just wasn't right for him, and it fucked him up.
Yeah.
Breaking news: we have a pope. White smoke.
Oh,
White smoke, huh?
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
Yeah, that was
That was
meltdown.
quick.
Tanky, you're up.
All right. I'm going to stick in football. And I'm going to go with one that was such a meltdown, it ruined a franchise. And I'm going 35-3.
Oh wow, that was one of my picks coming through. You just
1992 wild card game, 93 January 93. Buffalo down 35-3 with a backup quarterback, came back and beat the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers, who couldn't win a playoff game, the next year also lost the playoff game. And 2 years later, they tore down the franchise basically and headed off to Tennessee. That moment killed the Houston Oilers. They haven't recovered from that. Now we have the Texans, and they can't get over anything. The Saturday at 4. That's Houston Texans football history. Every one of the playoff games has been Saturday at 4.
Who was the backup quarterback that won the game?
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich.
Yeah.
Now coaching University of Stanford. Interim.
Interim?
Yep. He's the coach for this year.
Just 1 year?
Yep.
He's bounced around.
Yeah.
Now, Frank, great pick. I was going to take this as one of my 2 picks right behind it. I remember I was a 9-year-old kid watching that game in my playroom or toy room, whatever. And that was the old showing. The Oilers ran the run and shoot so they could score a ton of points in a hurry. They had no clue how to play with a lead because they never ran the ball and they never ran clock. And Don Beebe, long touchdown. Andre Reed. I remember that's one of the
Don Beebe strip.
No, it was a Cowboy Super Bowl.
Okay.
But that's one of those, you have those formatted.
Yeah, that led to the Super Bowl. That was in the middle of the Bills' 4th straight Super Bowl losses too.
Right.
I remember watching. That's one of those games. We all have games that when you remember where you were when you were a child watching it. And I remember this Oilers-Bills meltdown.
This is one of my earliest sports memories. I don't remember the game, the details of it, but I remember my dad. I was doing something. My dad's like, "Come on, we got to watch the end of this." And we watch it up in my parents' bedroom. But that was one of my earliest sports.
I don't
memories.
remember that at all. Obviously.
I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
Yeah, and I feel like.
I hardly remember the Oilers.
Yeah, same.
Great uniform.
Yeah.
Warren Moon
Warren Moon, yeah.
chunking it.
I feel like history hasn't done a good job of bringing this game back up. I don't see it a lot. Right?
I don't know. I guess I guess there hasn't been a documentary about it or anything,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a famous.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like why am I blanking on the game with the Bills Titans?
the Music City Miracle.
Yes.
2000
Yeah, something like that gets talked about way more.
or 99.
Frank Wycheck.
Yes.
Is that who it was?
Yes.
I always
Yeah.
get him and the Packers guy.
That gets talked about way more
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
Mintzy, you're up.
All right, we're about to take a real dark turn here, boys.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And this is bringing back one of my most viral Barstool clips from Pick Central a few years ago. But the fall of Aaron Hernandez has to be drafted. If you're gonna melt down, there'll never be a bigger one than being on a World Series a Super Bowl championship team, part of the greatest tight end combo maybe ever, and then you murder people and you get hung in your jail cell. I don't know how you can melt down more than that. I know it's a little dark, but
But I don't
we're
think it's
talking
a
meltdown. That's the full meltdown.
Like a meltdown. See,
I think it's just a product of being a bad guy.
yeah.
It's like nothing necessarily in that moment triggered that. It was just like he was raised.
Well, he got a 4-year, $42 million contract, and he melted down after he got the money. I can tell you that.
I think he was probably killing people before that, though.
There were rumors
a
about
rumor.
there were
That's
University of
alleged.
Florida rumor, yeah.
Yeah.
It's alleged.
Well, either way, going from making $10.5 million a year, being part of a Super Bowl winning team, and being a key piece to being hanging.
You love
carousel.
Aaron Hernandez.
I mean, you're saying about. I mean, that I don't know how you could fall farther than that. I mean,
Dead.
Frank, you think this is a meltdown?
No, I just think he was a bad guy, and it eventually came out.
well, they paid him. They definitely regret paying him the money. I can tell you that.
I don't know if they do.
Yeah.
I guess a good way to get out of that contract.
I mean, they got what they wanted out of him for the most part, I'd say. I mean, on field level, they did.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I know that's a little bit of a dark turn, but that was
No, listen. I mean, there's a lot, like Michael Richards isn't a pleasant topic either. You know, that's a lot of dark turns. But
all right. Well, we're going with another dark meltdown. We're gonna go ahead and because I'm the next pick. We're gonna go with the Sean Combs meltdown next. P Diddy. I mean, we're going with meltdowns. I mean, this dude had it
In the
all.
4th round, Mintzy takes O.J. Simpson.
Well, hey, I mean, P Diddy ran
Hey,
it
no
all,
tipping picks.
had all the money. Obviously, abused his power beyond belief. Currently in jail.
I don't.
He just started his trial Monday, I want to say.
Mitzi, I don't know if you know what a meltdown
That's what I was
is.
going to say.
These aren't really meltdowns. These are
Got
just
caught.
like, yeah, the meltdown would be like if he went on an unhinged rant where his brain was clearly fried on.
I get what you're saying, but his life completely melted down when he had it all.
I
mean, that seems like a meltdown. To me.
I know. What
I
you're
almost
saying.
think Hitler is a better pick than P. Diddy. Like, he had a lead in World War II,
and then he
melted down and blew it.
Well, yeah, he really, really messed up when he
Decided to
when
invade the Rhinelands.
Yeah, invading Russia during the summer, not thinking about that winter ahead was an all-time meltdown. There's no doubt about it. But
You know, today's the 80th anniversary of the surrender.
It is.
It is.
But I'm going.
Happy VE Day.
All right, Mincy, fall of Aaron Hernandez, fall of Sean Combs.
You wish that.
What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Hey man, you said I could go anywhere. It's a meltdown track.
You're right. Yeah, listen, you're right. And I guess just the Mincy interpretation of a meltdown.
I
is
get what
like-
he's saying in a way because he did have everything and then it went to nothing like pretty quickly.
That's
I kind of get it, but at the same time, like a meltdown to me is like normal. Then you hit rock bottom.
If
you
this
know?
was like,
But like I feel like a meltdown when you have it all and go to the bottom.
But also, he was staring down the barrel, the metaphorical barrel of this was always a potential risk that was going to happen.
yeah, if this
you
was
know?
like the life fumble draft, those are two great picks.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yes, like the fuck up draft. Yeah,
Like the
Okay.
life
actually,
fumbles.
put that on the list. That's a good.
The life fumbles.
Yeah, that's a
That is
like
good. These are
workshop it
two
a little bit.
fantastic picks. They fumbled their life. They had
We could get really fucking weird with that one.
yeah, they had a lot to go ahead of them, and they just decided to be bad people.
Yeah.
Tank, I don't know how you follow that up, but please try.
Who's your favorite murderer?
Jeez.
John Wayne
here's
Gacy
one.
had it all. Like, he was a happy guy. Just
He
being
was a precinct
clown.
captain.
He was just a clown for kids' birthday parties. He had the whole.
He had it all.
The
He had
world was
it
his
all.
oyster.
Here's one. Probably the greatest verbal tirade by an angry manager in baseball history. And it eventually led to him getting fired. And I'm going 1983, Lee Elia
Yep.
telling Cub fans who are saying that people who go to Cubs games don't have a job, so they don't have the right to boo his team, and to everyone in Chicago can kiss his ass. This Lee Elia just absolute meltdown.
It's
is
an
just
all-time
absolute art.
I feel like it's not nearly as popular as it should be, like on a national level. Obviously, here we've all heard it a million times, and
I don't know anything about it. I've never heard.
Artwork.
You know
Exactly
what?
my point.
I'll blog it on Tuesday when the show comes out.
It is maybe the best rant in history of rants, like sports, politics, otherwise. It is artwork. It is artwork.
It's like he gives out lines like these motherfuckers who come out to day baseball while the rest of the whole goddamn motherfucking world is working, and they come out and they boo us. We're playing some tough teams. God damn it, they don't know what they're talking about. Maybe if they had a fucking job, they'd understand what it's like to work for a fucking living. These bums out in the bleachers don't understand what it's like to work for a living, and if they don't like what I'm saying, they can kiss my ass and print it.
And it was like 3 minutes longer than that.
Yeah.
Mintzy, it's an all-timer.
I
can't wait to see it.
We'll listen after.
I can't wait to see it.
Fuck those
Just seeing Frank, just seeing the smile on Frank's face. I'm all in.
The Lee Elia rant is just, it's art.
3,000 fucking people that show up every day because they don't got jobs.
Do you have the text?
Yeah,
right.
the text in front of me.
It is an all-time rant. However, is that a meltdown?
That's a tirade. I mean,
That's a yeah.
you know, he probably regretted saying it. Like he probably
cost him his job.
I don't think he lived much longer after that, right?
No, I remember him, and he later managed the Phillies and was actually a coach on
he's still alive, dude.
Is he?
Lou Pinella's Mariners in the 90s.
Mandela effect, big time there.
He's still alive.
I mean, 40 years ago, how old is he now?
Yeah, because he only he managed for the Cubs 82 and 83.
It sounds like I'm not surprised to hear it ended at 83 after that rant.
He's 87 now, yeah.
I'll tell you one fucking thing. I hope we get fucking hotter than shit just to stuff it up. The 3,000 fucking people that show up every fucking day because they're real Chicago fans. They can kiss my fucking ass.
So that's probably my dad would. That's probably a little after that, I'd say. But my dad would take the red line from the south side up to the north side with pony kegs on the red line, and he's like, nobody went to Cubs games back then. This is probably a little after that, and they would just bring pony kegs into the fucking bleachers in the late 70s.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
85% of the fucking world is working. The other 15 cocksuckers come out here.
A lot of cocksuckers in this
He
rant.
said it's a fucking playground for the cocksuckers. That's what he said. It's incredible.
It's perfect. It's artwork.
That's a great.
It is. Shout out to Les Grobstein. He recorded it. Legend, radio legend, man.
R.I.P. Right? Didn't he pass
yeah.
recently?
He actually passed, Dave.
Like 5 years ago, maybe? Grabber.
Yeah, I'm back up. I'm gonna probably go with the best case, at least of like the modern time that we have seen of the Yips. I'm gonna take the Rick Ankiel.
I don't like it.
Why?
At least he stayed in the majors.
He had a
outfielder.
comeback from it,
but he couldn't throw a strike, Dave.
he couldn't even come
Couldn't
close
hit
to
the
catcher.
catcher.
No,
Yeah.
no, like that's
What was it, like 8 pitches to the backstop in a row or something?
Yeah.
Worst case of the Yips ever. I don't know if I like
a
it.
modern day, I would say for sure.
I mean, that we know of for sure. Yeah.
I guess his was worse than Chuck Knobloch not being able to.
That was a
second
bad
to
one,
first
yep.
was bad too. But the Ankiel one was worse.
Yeah, I mean like you said, he couldn't get it to the catcher. So I'm taking Ankiel.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You're up.
Why
Why don't you like it first?
Well, because
You haven't said.
if he were some superstar and it just completely murdered his career, sure, but he wasn't. And then you got to take into account he did come back as an outfielder and was like productive for a few years.
Yeah, but it was still a major story. A guy whose job for a living was to throw the ball couldn't throw the ball anymore.
Yeah. I mean, top 25 meltdowns in history. I don't know about it.
Sure.
I'll stick sports here. I don't know if I want to because I think Chief might take my next pick on the wraparound, but I'm gonna roll the dice. I'll go Ryan Leaf with the reporter. Obviously, like he was struggling well before that, but this was like everything came to a head in that moment, and he exploded, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, he's fucking, what was it, dealing drugs on the border or some shit?
Ended up in jail.
Yeah, ended up. Now he's like,
he's a great turnaround.
To what?
Family man. Clean,
I contradicted
well.
myself right now. He has cleaned himself up, and he's like a motivational speaker now. And I've heard him on a few podcasts, and he has cleaned himself up, and he's like an impressive individual at this stage of his life. But I mean, that meltdown, it's still like people talk about all-time great bus. And that meltdown was like the exact moment where it's like, this guy's fucking life's over.
Yeah, he was second overall pick. I mean, there was an argument. People thought he was better than Peyton Manning in that draft.
He couldn't
how hyped up he
handle
was.
the pressure of playing in San Diego.
Imagine if he went to New York or Philly, or
Would not have been good.
would not have been good.
I think that's a good pick.
It is. Hey, let's pause again to talk about Rowback Activewear. You guys know how much we love Rowback. It's been on a tear with their new product releases, and we're here for it. They got the new Huddle hoodie. It's different from the Hezzy hoodie, and it's made with a cotton poly blend, so it's very warm, but also has a nice stretch to it. And we've been wearing these every day, and it is
Perfect
more of a
for this
lifestyle
time of
feel.
year.
Yep.
Perfect for this time of year.
It really is. You don't know what's going on in Chicago. You walk out, it's cold, it gets hot later, just take that hoodie off, and you're good to go. Obviously, it's golf season. Grab the polos. The polos
Yeah.
are,
The quarter zips.
yeah, by far my favorite polos.
Oh,
Totally.
they're great.
By far.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're everywhere too.
Their shorts, their polos, their hoodies.
Yep.
Cannot beat them.
They got-
Joggers.
Yeah, the
Joggers,
sprint joggers.
obviously.
It's a jogger designed for both activity, and comfort. The fabric's super lightweight and has a nice stretch to it. And they got a nice old jacket too. So check that out. It's a glide down jacket. Use code DOG on Rowback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all hoodies, joggers, jackets, and more with code DOG. You're up again, Chief.
I will take Tom Cruise on Oprah, where he's on the couch and like clearly having like a mental breakdown. You don't know this clip? He's like dancing on the couch, saying how he's in love with.
There's no way you've never seen this.
I'm sure I have, but
I haven't.
I don't know if I would call it a meltdown. I was more of him just expressing his love
Frank.
in a
he
very
looked
weird way.
fucking insane, and I think that was a moment where people are like, "Oh, this guy's fucking insane. What is going on with Scientology?" Like that to me was like, it was a crazy, crazy moment where the guy, like, he was as A-list as it got, and then that moment changed how the entire public looked at him. I still made some great movies after the fact.
I think he's bigger now than he's ever been.
He's richer now than he's ever. I don't know if he's definitely not bigger now. He's not.
Come on!
I mean-
look at the Maverick 2 years ago. The Mission Impossible franchise. Everyone knows he's weird. Everyone knows he's unusual. Everyone knows he might die a horrible death because he parachutes out of an airplane twice a week just for the hell of it.
The Mission Impossibles are huge.
They're huge, but those started before this, if I'm not mistaken. Maverick was a sequel before this. If you look at like the range of the movies he was doing before this clip and after this clip, it's like the franchises that he was already associated with, he still does. But he's not doing the Jerry Maguires. He's not doing A Few Good Men. He's not like, when was the last time he was up for like a Best Actor in the Oscars? Like, he doesn't get those kind of roles. I'm not saying they're necessarily related,
I
but
think he's making his own shit.
yeah.
but
Like,
what is he in besides the two that you
He
named?
dedicated the last like large portion of his life to Maverick.
I understand. I love Maverick, but this was
They are blockbusters.
yeah. I'm not denying that, but this was a meltdown moment.
The only
All right, I just
con-
skimmed through it. I have not seen this, and
That's crazy.
The granted, I didn't watch the full 4-minute clip, but like Oprah was like, she didn't seem uncomfortable, and nor did the crowd. And the few like
This was like a mega story of how weird it was.
I don't remember this at all. I don't know
That's-
how. I don't
that's
remember.
What year was this?
Remember
It looks like about, I don't know, 2000-ish.
4 something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's weird, but I don't think it. Like I said, I don't think it's a meltdown.
I don't
It
like
did-
how
it
much
didn't-
Frank is pushing back, so I'm going to move on to my next pick. I'm going to take the 07 Mets.
Is that a spite pick?
It's on my board.
That seemed like a little bit of a spite pick. because
07,
Frank was trashing his Tom
07
Cruise
Mets. They're
Frank,
like an all-time collapse.
Is that a good
I
pick?
still hear the song by Tom Petty, Free Fallin'. And it literally gives me flashbacks to that September.
How many games are they up, Frank?
7 games with 17 to go.
That's almost impossible. That's an all-time
7 games with 10 to go. Is that what it was?
17.
17.
Just an all-time collapse.
And while they're falling apart, I just remember a video of the highlights and hearing the song "Free Fallin'," and like they had like a cartoon of Mr. Met going like this on Fox baseball.
It kind of killed the Mets for like, I would say, what, eight years? I know they got back to the World Series in 15 and lost, but
it really destroyed the franchise because right after that you had the Bernie Madoff situation where basically Bernie Madoff was a silent business partner for the Met ownership.
Yep. Yeah, big collapse with long-lasting ramifications.
And they had another collapse the following year.
Yeah.
Not as bad, where basically they were battling the wild card the last week of the season, and they lost like 5 out of the last 6. When they would have, if they would have went 3-3, they would have gotten the wild card over the Brewers.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough.
At least Beltran showed up, though. I'm sorry.
Did Beltran show up?
It was pitching that basically fell apart.
Yeah.
Bullpen was terrible.
Bad.
07 Mets.
And
terrible,
you had Jose
terrible
Reyes,
collapse.
so it was like angered everybody. And the classic moment of the meltdown was the final game of the season.
What happened?
Well, they were tied with the Phillies going into the final game of the season, so at least you would have a 1-game playoff, and the Mets would have gotten a wild card. But Tom Glavine went out there and gave up 8 runs in the first inning, giving up like a grand slam home run to Dontrelle Willis to top it off.
Oof.
And he never made it out of the first inning. It was his final appearance for the Mets. I mean, and then after the game, you devastated? No, I'm just going to go home to my family. I know I'm probably not going to be back here next year. I'm going to be going home. I look forward to a great offseason with my kids. And it just like, you motherfucker.
Braves legend.
Yeah, fuck Tom Glavine.
Brutal. That was a good move by you to pivot out of that, Tom Cruise. I think I'm the only one that can kind of understand what you're saying, though, on that, where it's like, it was so weird that it was like, this might be a meltdown.
Yeah, I think it was a meltdown. And
The
they
only
got
reason I'd say
divorced
Yeah.
pretty quickly after they had that kid.
Another reason, though, is he is a different famous meltdown. So,
Tom Cruise does?
yeah.
Okay, I'm blanking on it.
Dave, you're up.
I'm going to go with Black Tuesday in 1929.
The collapse of the stock
That's
market.
a good one. Everything went to shit.
Launched the entire planet into the Great Depression. Obviously had its part in what happened in 1939 with Germany and World War II, etc. Worst financial collapse in our country's history, probably in the history of modern times, since money has been a thing. I'm going to go with Black Tuesday in 1929.
Okay.
That's a great pick. I mean, it caused the worldwide meltdown for
Worldwide meltdown.
over a decade.
I mean,
for over a decade.
Yeah.
That's one. That's good outside the box thinking.
Yeah.
And what can you say?
Pretty big meltdown, Ed.
Yeah. To me, you're going to be mad at me that I'm going to get this because you've drafted this before. I'm going to take the Bagel Boss guy.
Oh, fuck. That didn't make my list. God damn it, I didn't think about it.
All time.
That was
internet
Freakouts,
video.
right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was internet videos, I believe.
Was it?
They're like best viral video.
It's one of my favorite movies ever. Do you want to fucking go? With Frank accent.
Yeah.
The New York accent. Yeah.
And
Saying
like
5 foot tall on dating sites, you should be dead.
giving me
That's
that biting lip. Do you want? And then the guy just like I don't think I'm a violent person. I think I would have done the same thing as that guy. Just because this guy, like, I would have gone from 0 to 100 and just, like, put this guy on the floor and said, shut the fuck up, you little midget. And I can say that because I'm a midget.
Have you ever ran into the Bagel Boss guy in New York, Frank?
I think I might have been just in passing one day, but not really.
Yeah. He's out and about. He was on
Didn't it come out that he was, like, an actual mega piece of shit or something?
Yeah, I think he had
He did
more
something
instances of
else,
being like a
too.
jerk. But he's been... I know he was supposed to do like celebrity boxing stuff. I don't know if he ever did anything.
Yeah.
That'd be an all-time rough and rowdy.
Him versus who?
I don't know.
Anyone?
Anyone. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it was so funny. He's been on Stern a bunch.
Has he?
Yeah.
They're going to add him, what is it, the whack pack?
It's a meltdown. Yeah, I'd say he's a whack packer for sure.
Totally.
Yeah. Tank, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go one that's a viral video from the minor leagues. I don't remember the guy's name, but all I know is it's the Atlanta Braves manager that started throwing everything out of the dugout.
Yeah.
And then got behind the dugout with the rosin bag and pretended it was like a grenade.
Yeah.
And he threw it.
That was so embarrassing, I thought. That was just cringeworthy. It's like it was just too much for me. It's like, get the fuck off the field. Make your point, get in his face, maybe spit on him a little bit, kick dirt over home plate, and throw the bucket of balls on the field and leave. You don't go to second base and take
on
the
his
base.
stomach and then throws the rosin bag like it's a grenade.
Yeah. You guys know
That was like
what
the
we're
cherry
talking
on
about?
top.
I don't know.
It was for the Gwinnett Braves, I believe. They're the Braves AAA team.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
It was like minor league. You know how they have the goofy promotions for minor league baseball? I felt like it was like one of those. Like a way to go viral before viral was a thing, really. It was, I don't know. I hated that.
Yeah, I remember this. Is this it? He just throws everything out there. Well, this ain't it. But yeah, I vaguely remember this, yes.
It was fucking embarrassing.
Mintzy, you're back.
All right, I got 2 picks, and
Uh-oh.
all right, first one, it kind of inspired by the Cubs manager rant. I'm going with my personal favorite sports rant ever, and that's the Jim Mora rant, where I'll try to impersonate. How many turnovers we have today? 5 turnovers? Somebody asked him about going to the playoffs. Playoffs? I hope we win another game. Talking about playoffs?
You hit the right octave for sure.
That Jim Mora rant
It was pretty good.
That's one of my favorites. And then a first cousin of that rant, which was a different one, was when Wade Wilson was the Saints' backup quarterback and they were playing in '93, and he broke his leg in a game in the Superdome, and people were like cheering in the stands because they hated Wade Wilson so much. And Mora gets up the press conference, "You people are sick. You people are sick. He's laying on the field. The broken leg and you're cheering." He's like, oh, dude, that's another good one. But the playoffs one with how many turnovers was that in the high octave voice. That's a classic sports meltdown rant.
And it's one that I don't think will ever die.
No,
Because there will always be playoffs.
yeah.
And
I hope we win another game.
yeah.
So that's my first pick, and my second pick. I don't know.
Oh,
If that,
remember he also had, we suck.
yeah. We suck. We didn't do diddly poo. That's what he said.
Yeah.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
And he like paused too. He's like, we couldn't do diddly poo
Yeah.
because he didn't want to swear.
Yeah.
No, that's one of my favorite rants. Second pick, I don't know. Y'all may flame this for the meltdown thing, but it's just too near and dear to my heart to not complain about it because I'm a Saints fan. But the blown call in the 18 NFC Championship game that cost us the Drew Brees, Tom Brady Super Bowl. The Rams. I was at the top of the Superdome banging on the walls that day. But literally, I mean, it was the worst blown call in NFL history easily. And
It was bad.
I mean, they were on the freaking 5-yard line and had a 20-yard field goal to go to the Super Bowl to play the Patriots and lost off it. And I mean, I don't know if it's a meltdown or a blown call, but that can't happen in that big of a freaking game. With
I
that
don't
much on the
think
line.
this is a. Sorry, who melted down? The refs?
Bill Vinovich, that bastard.
That's the ref's name?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ken Jack, if you're listening, I just want a picture of Bill Venovich.
Yeah.
I mean, that just I don't know if it's a meltdown, so I might get flamed for it, but just I have to bitch about it because it just
All right.
I mean, it was the
Get
end,
it off your chest, Mintzy.
It was like near the end of the Breeze career. It was the Breeze Brady Super Bowl on the line that never happened, which is ridiculous considering their careers. And I had to do it.
I think that would be a different draft. That should be in the screw job draft.
Yeah, no, and I had to do a 3-hour radio show the next day where I could like barely speak after it.
That would be the screw job draft.
I think you're right, Frank.
I think maybe I've missed the parameters of this draft with some of my picks. But at least I think it was all my
Mintz.
picks had thoughts.
You did.
The world needs ditch diggers too.
So we just put Bill Venovich on, or we got a veto?
I don't know what to say. I mean,
I will say that it did feel like we got robbed of a Brady Breeze Super Bowl, which would have been cool. Like
Yeah.
we never got like the legendary quarterback.
No, and then we got a 13-3 shit fest. At least Dave Portnoy made that Super Bowl worthwhile when he got
dragged out of there
with those spaghetti legs.
and the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill Venovich. Okay.
18 Saints Rams blown call. Tank, you're back up.
All right. Well, I don't think there's a bigger meltdown than the one I'm getting in the last round, the 5th round. And you know what that is? The ultimate meltdown. The meltdown that carved the world as we know it. I am talking about the end of the Ice Age. We still have lakes that were carved. The Great Lakes.
I love it,
made
Frank the Tank.
by the meltdown of these glaciers. The end of the Ice Age is the biggest meltdown in the history of all the universe.
It's true.
It's an incredible pick, unbelievable
The
value.
Pleistocene, we lost so many awesome animals.
I mean, we wouldn't be here in this office right now if it weren't for the Ice Age, because that's how Lake Michigan was formed, and that's the reason Chicago exists where
And
it
if
does.
it didn't melt down, we would be under like
30 miles of ice or something?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of scary animals, too, though.
Yeah, short-faced bear.
How long ago was the end of the Ice Age?
12,000 years ago.
I was going to say 10, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't happen. Well, it depends on what you believe.
Yeah.
Some people do believe that it happened all at once with an asteroid cataclysm hit over Greenland, caused massive
I
flooding.
thought it was the Yucatan.
That was a dinosaur.
That was a dinosaur,
Yeah.
correct. All right, I got you.
By definition, Frank.
The Ice Age actually, I think, was caused by the dinosaurs' collapse.
I think.
What, because they weren't releasing... like CO2
maybe.
or something?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, the smoke that covered the earth.
Yeah, they definitely blacked out the sun for a long period of time, but that was so long ago. Dinosaurs were millions of years ago. So I don't know how long that. I think we had. I don't know.
Haven't we had multiple, too?
We have had multiple.
Yeah.
There's been times where the entire planet was a ball of ice.
Next one's coming soon.
Oh, by the way, I found this awesome science account. I'll send you later.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was watching it for hours yesterday.
By definition, Frank.
Great
It's
pick,
great
Frank.
pick. Frank.
Awesome. Hey, Frank, congratulations on knowing what this draft is.
and being creative and thinking outside the box, I couldn't love that pick more.
Great pick.
It honestly, I thought Yankees and the 28-3 meltdowns were 1 and 2 easy. This one should have gone 1-1.
Definitely.
This should have been the first pick, and to get it third to last overall, Frank, unreal value.
Okay, I'm back up. I'm taking Bill O'Reilly, Do It Live.
That was going to be my last
Was
one.
it? Fuck it, do it live. If you've never seen it, you must not have had the internet for the last however
Yeah.
many years it's been incepted.
And it was pre-Fox News. It was like Entertainment Tonight or something.
Yeah.
What was it? Inside Edition. He was on Inside Edition in the 90s.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Inside Edition kind of rips. Like I've been in like a wormhole of like shady contractor videos that they do sometimes. It's like fascinating. Like they'll like set up like a small leak on a hot water heater, and they'll call a bunch of technicians to come in and diagnose it, and they'll film them and see which ones are like, oh yeah, you need a brand new one. And they're like, actually, it's just a little leak, and they just like set these. It's kind of fascinating.
Wow. Don't like that.
It's pretty crazy.
I would be 1,000% susceptible to that. You tell me something's wrong, I'm like, I guess I just.
Oh yeah, we all
buy
would.
a new one, yeah.
Yeah, we all would. That's why it's
I'm
like,
such a pussy when it comes to that shit.
yeah, we just
I
don't
got
know.
your guy coming on Monday.
Oh yeah, it's not even a pussy. You just don't know.
I feel like every man should be able to fix a leaky A little. I mean, like within reason, a small leak.
Sure, you'll be able to fix it, but you don't know if it's a bigger problem. Is what I'm saying.
Correct.
Sure.
Yeah. A little duct tape over there, Dave.
Although Lisa Guerrero annoys me, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. Yeah,
Is she still on that?
I don't know. That's just some of the clips.
Because that was OG Portnoy
Yeah,
mass media.
yeah, exactly. Great video. If you've never seen it somehow, but like I said, if you've been on the internet at all in your life, you've seen this. Dave, you're up.
Where do I want to go? This one it's not near and dear to me at all, but I'm gonna go with Gene Van de Verde at the '99 U.S. Open.
Great one.
John Van de Velde.
However you say it.
Yeah. That was a Google.
I think it was
search.
It was the British Open one.
Tell me a little bit.
Or no,
US
or-
Open.
No, it was US Open. I'm sorry.
No,
Up
British
by-
Open. It was the British
British
Open.
Open.
Yeah,
I think it was at St. Andrews.
John Van der Velde.
Jean Van de Velde. Yeah.
Tell
The
me
internet?
about it, David.
He was up by 3 strokes on the last hole, triple bogeyed, and ended up losing. Ed.
He did. He had like there's like this classic scene. I remember watching this. That there was like a creek or a stream going through the fairway that he hit it in, and the ball was like kind of floating in the water. So he took off his socks rather than take like the penalty stroke. He took off his socks and shoes and tried to hit it like out of the water, and it didn't work.
However, that is
Yeah.
famous.
So it is like an all time classic meltdown.
And there's like a picture of him like with the water up to like his shit, like his knees, and he's just like
I just
Yeah.
saw this. Did you know about this one, or did you just see this on the
No,
internet?
I have other ones, but like this one, it was easiest. I don't want to explain the other ones quite yet, at least.
Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Irrelevant, Chief.
I really wanted Bill O'Reilly. I thought that was going to be there for me, so now I got to scramble a little bit. I'm going to take this was like a microcosm of what I think of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is they're in Game 7 against the Boston Bruins. They give up 3 goals in the third to blow the lead and then lose in overtime. Like that, certain franchises, they might be the number one, because now the Cubs and Red Sox have won, they might be like the biggest loser.
How long has it been?
Since they won it? 67. But they have not won since the NHL expanded. So the last time
they
won
have not even been to the Stanley Cup Finals
ever, like since 67. Yeah.
Since all their wins came in the pre-expansion era when there was 6 teams.
Yeah. So I think this was 2014, 13. All-time meltdown. And like, I love every year. Like, one of the things I look forward to as like a sign of spring is the sad shot of Maple Leaf Square. and like the meltdown that the fans have, because they always like, they pack that area around the stadium. They have like,
Rogers Center.
yeah, they have thousands of people watching on a big screen, all in their like blue Leafs jerseys, faces painted, and then they all just end up like with their hearts broken and crying, and it's awesome.
Are you okay? Thank you. You answered my question. So you're not one of those guys that's like, I'd like the Bills to win a Super Bowl, or I'd like the Leafs to win a cup, or I'd like, if you weren't a Cubs fan, I'd like
would
the Cubs
like.
to win.
I think I would like the Bills to win one. I like the Bills for some reason.
I wouldn't care. I obviously like the fan base and the tables and the debauchery, but like I wouldn't care. But like
it means more to me. Like, I wouldn't care if the Leafs won necessarily, but I wouldn't be like, I hope they get over the hump. It means more to me to watch them lose.
Yes, thank you.
I enjoy that.
You feel that way about the Bills?
You just wait every year. For them to
I will
collapse.
say they are looking a little different right now.
Up 2-0.
Yeah,
2-0
it's pretty crazy.
against their boogeyman team. I think
there's a stat that they've never won a game. They have not won a Game 7 since like in this 50 years.
I remember the famous, like, they were playing the Flyers in a Game 7 and Roenick got it in overtime. And I think the last time they even went to the conference finals was 2002, if I recall. And that was like Matt Sundin, and like it feels so long ago.
I remember they were in. I think it might have been the conference finals where they lost to the Devils in 2001, and in the final game, Game 6, they only had 6 shots on goal for the entire game.
They are losers. Like, they're losers. They do seem like they have kind of like they kind of got the minerals right now. Like they don't look meltdowny to me with this current iteration. If they get beat, I think it'll just be like they ran into Vegas or they ran into Dallas.
But this is when they get you, though, right? Like they're kind of gaining a lot of hope and steam right now. They're up 2-0 against the fucking defending champs.
Yes. Now it goes back to Florida.
Yeah.
So like that's the old cliche, like a series doesn't start until the home team loses. So we'll see what Florida does as defending champs on home ice with last change and all that. But like you always knew historically, like they'll fucking choke it. They don't have like that choke energy to me right now. Like they have like bigger, meaner, tougher guys
Than before.
So we'll see.
It would be something if they won it off this pick this year.
Yeah, I mean that would
really
like,
be something.
Regardless, that was an all-time.
The last few years when they've been pretty good, they have a coach that's never won a playoff series ever.
That's
and
true too,
never,
Frank.
Ever will.
So that the game I'm talking about was 2013. So
13,
then the
13 Maple Leafs.
13 Maple Leafs,
Yeah.
and that was the year the Bruins then went on to
Win the
the
cup.
Stanley or lose the Hawks.
Lose the Hawks,
17
yeah.
seconds. Yeah.
All right, let's do some honorable mentions. Frank, what do you got still on your board?
I would do an honorable mention fictional meltdown.
Okay.
And I'm going to do Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation.
Oh, fuck, that would have been
That's a
good
great
pick.
one, Frank.
Frank.
Great one, Frank.
I didn't even think of those. Like,
Yeah.
fictional. Yeah.
I mean, he takes the chainsaw, fixed the new post. We're going to be the smiliest assholes this side of the nut house.
Frank, are you a Vegas vacay guy?
I don't like that one that much.
I don't know why people don't like it as much, but I love that movie and his meltdown versus the
dealer?
the blackjack dealer.
Yeah, that was a good
It's
one,
so
too.
good.
Yeah.
The T-Rex from Toy
Clark
Story.
Griswold had great meltdowns. He had a great meltdown in the first one where he held John Candy by gunpoint.
Yeah.
If we're talking fictional, Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles
Would have been a good one. Yep.
at the rental car
Yep.
all time. Any other ones you have, Frank?
Maybe Hal McRae when he threw everything off his desk, including a telephone, which hit a reporter in the head and caused him to split his head open.
Oh, I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember that, but that sounds big.
Yeah, Hal McRae was manager of the Royals at the time. It was bad loss or something like that, and he like cleared his desk, was like throwing things, and then he like grabbed the phone and threw it. And you see like one of the reporters walking out of the room with like holding his head. I think he got hit in the head by the phone that he threw. And this is not like a cell phone. This is 1992, 93, when it's a desk phone that's on his desk that he like pulled up and threw.
That's crazy. Chief, you're up.
The only other one I had on my list was the lady from Trump's inauguration.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one.
I thought about her too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mintzy, did the topic at all, or
I've got a topic. I'm going to pay homage to our guest and draft the Frank NJ Transit rant, or just as my honorable mention.
Great one.
Because it was an all-time meltdown. Although it's ironic because that meltdown actually rose him up, so that's why I didn't get drafted, because he ended up here and look where we are 8 years later. But I mean, it's
Glacial. It was glacial.
It's just a legendary meltdown, and then to go with it, just your relationship with NJ Transit, just over the years too. There's just been so much.
You know, they might be. Unless something happens in the next 8 days, they're going to go on strike.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
I didn't.
I might have to stay in Jersey.
You gonna go get on the picket line for him?
But the CEO got a raise.
Dave, you got any other ones?
Bobby Knight's chair toss.
Oh,
Dennis Green play to win the game.
Had that.
Yeah. That's
The
a good one.
Enron scandal. The fall of the Soviet Union. Frank the Tank versus NJ Transit. Eddie versus the golf starter at Sidney Marovitz. And Sweaty Brian versus the usher at Notre Dame Stadium.
Now you mentioned the fall of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, they call it
I
the
actually
collapse of the Soviet Union.
I actually think you can attach that to Chernobyl
Yeah.
as
Oh, totally. That
The start of the collapse.
for sure.
Has anyone seen the movie The Death of Stalin?
I have not, but talk to me.
Oh,
about
I saw that movie.
So fucking
That
funny.
is, and apparently
So
that's
funny.
exactly how it
it.
happened.
Funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So
It's a satirical.
Okay.
Yeah, you should.
That it basically happened like that, where Stalin's son is like lunatic, and they trying to keep him away from everything.
Yeah, it's a.
That
it's a-
everyone was afraid that he would wake up and get angry. No doctor wanted to treat him because he if a doctor gave him bad news, he'd have him killed.
right.
He had his enemies list. Then you had these other people who had their enemies list, and then meanwhile you have Khrushchev, who's plotting in the background to overthrow everyone and take over.
Yeah, and then there's a whole like when you die you like relieve yourself, right? So like he had like
shit your pants.
and piss his pants,
Yeah.
and people are like, well, don't let that out. Like so they like try to like cover up like because like they'll get in trouble if you say that like he pissed his pants.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's a very very funny movie.
How old is it?
10 years?
Oh,
8
okay.
years, something like that. Maybe
Oh.
maybe less. And I think it's on Netflix. Let me look it
Steve
up.
Buscemi's in it.
Yeah. 2017.
Okay.
I have a few here. Mike Gundy, I'm a man, I'm 40.
Yeah.
Kanye West,
Yeah, definitely.
just like
Yeah,
his whole
in
life.
general.
Yeah, in general. If you're gonna say Britney Spears, you gotta say leave Britney alone. That video, like that.
Yeah.
Meltdown.
I thought that was a chick the first time I saw the video.
Same. Ron Artest, Battles at the Palace, but
I didn't know how that. I
Yeah.
thought about that too. I didn't know how that was like a meltdown.
Yeah, that crossed my head too.
Yeah.
was antagonized.
Yeah,
maybe.
he was. Someone threw a cup at him.
Yeah, it doesn't get talked about enough, but I remember watching this live. The 2016 Northern Iowa
Oh,
Texas
yeah.
A&M
Oh yeah.
was
Yeah.
insane. They were
It
up
was like
12 with
15
like
points.
they were by 12
Yeah.
42 seconds left.
Something
I think
like
it
that,
was,
yeah.
and they lost.
Northwestern was up 35-0 in the early fourth against Michigan State when I was in high school for a game and ended up blowing it. Obviously, no one cares about that. So,
Yeah.
But this was the tournament.
Yeah.
but yeah, that was
Yeah, 6 versus 11, and then the bacon jalapeno mac and cheese kid. I always got to give him a shout out from UConn.
Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
All right, I'll read them out, and then we'll vote someone out here. So write it on a blank text whenever I'm done.
I would be minus 1,000 to be voted out right now if there were lines.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
Mintzy, Yankees, Red Sox 04. The fall of Aaron Hernandez, the fall of Sean Combs. Jim Mora playoffs, 2018 Saints Rams blown call. Tank, look at Tank laughing.
I feel like I always bring a good few laughs out of the tank. he always laughs. He's always amused.
Tank 28-3, Pats Falcons 35-3, 92 Bills, Oilers, Lee Elia, Cubs tirade, Braves manager who threw everything.
Ice Age.
End of the Ice Age.
What a great pick.
Eddie Will Smith slap at Oscars, Michael Richards Laugh Factory, Rick Ankiel, Bagel Boss Guy, Bill O'Reilly Do It Live, White Sox Dave Chernobyl, Charlie Sheen winning, Ryan Leaf, Black Tuesday 1929, Jean Van de Velde 1999 British Open, Chief 03 Cubs, Britney Spears Shaving Head, Tom Cruise on Oprah, 07 Mets, 13 Maple Leafs. Tag, who do you got?
Who had the worst?
The worst is Mintzy. Sorry. I mean, yeah, you just had people who just were uncovered. It's not more of a meltdown. It's more of just sunshine coming to light.
Who do you got, Chief?
Benjamin Mintz.
Mintz, who do you got?
I'm debating between Eddie and Chief, but
You can vote for yourself. I did it 2 weeks ago.
I guess it was you did the Tom Cruise Oprah rant, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm voting for Chief then.
All right, 2 for Mintz, 1 for Chief. Dave?
Mints.
Mintz.
I did think Ed's was as well though.
I have to pee. I'm going.
All right, no problem. Frank, thank you. Mintz, you're off the poll.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really fun.
Meltdown draft in the books. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for watching. That's it. We will see you guys tomorrow.